Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced, and this game is going to be one insane game because this is definitely the rivalry for the future. Hey, with the black pieces we have Gukesh, the current reigning world champion, and with the white pieces we have Pragg. And yeah, this game is from none other than Candidates, and this is from round 2, and our saga just continues here because I'm just going to be showing all the games of the Candidates of Gukesh and a lot of the interesting games from the Candidates as well. So this is going to be one epic matchup. So without further ado, let's just start with this game. Hey, just going for this d4 Pragg and just d5 by Gukesh. We have c4, e6. Now we go to the queen's gambit decline. Here just knight to f3, knight to f6, g3, and just bishop to b4. This is the Catalan opening, and here just going for knight to c3, d captures, and just bishop to g2. And now both plays castles, and here just going for knight to c6, a3, and bishop to e7. And bringing the bishop back here in this position, we just transpose into the Nimzo Indian defense, and you can see that this is going to be very epic matchup because with the queen's gambit decline, the thing is that most likely those games ends in a draw, and but this system here, this is going to be very decisive and much more interesting. Here just e4, now just a6, bishop to e3, and just b5. Now just queen to e2, bishop to b7, rook a to d1, and knight to a5. So definitely Gukesh is trying to create some chances here, and definitely just trying to just cement that knight there on b3, but it's not going to be doing that very much as it's supposed to. But d5 now, and in this position e caps on d5 was played. And what do you do in this position? If you go for knight caps on d5, it's absolutely fine. Now knight captures, e captures, bishop to f6, you play a4, and after this knight to b3. I mean, you're just challenging those pawns, and most likely the game could go either way, but here you can just go for queen to c2 and play a waiting move, rook to e8, and definitely black is definitely enjoying his position. But here after e captures, e5 was played by Pragg, and e5 is something that I would not be considering a good move, because the thing is that he just knight to e8, and Arjun was here Gukesh was able to find the best move in this position. And the thing with that move is that you're going to be able, yes, you are taking a lot of space in the center, and yes, it feels very nice, but the thing is that look at this pawn chain. Look at the knight jumping here. Look at the bishop is going to be developed. Queen can get into the game. It's easy just development for Gukesh, and that's why here in this position, that's why it's not a good move. That just you're taking space, and that's absolutely fine. But if here, I mean, Gukesh manages to blunder somehow this position, then it's going to be very bad. But yeah, other than that, I don't see a point here. But just e6 now, just trying to go for it all the way, but e6 does not work in this position. And here Hey Gukesh definitely missed a very nice opportunity, because in this position you could play the best move and actually go for a very nice line, and that move is f captures on e6, and that's an amazing move because here knight to d4, yes, you target that pawn, but queen to d6 defending it. And how do you attack? You go for bishop to f4. I cannot push this queen and the bishop are guarding it very nicely, but there is a brilliant move in this position. I'm going to ask you to pause the video and try and find out this only brilliant move which gives Gukesh winning advantage right from the opening. So have at it. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move, and the move is rook captures on f4, sacrificing the exchange, because here after g captures you play first c6, you create this marvelous structure, and just you can see now that this pawn chain is going to be very difficult to stop even with the two knights. And yes, you can get the bishop in the game later, but it's not about the bishop, it's about the pawn chain, and the position is going to be very in favor of Gukesh. But here after e6 he goes for f5, and f5, although being a decent move, it's not the best move recommended by the engine, and but still works. I mean, if you're able to do some things, do some creativity with that, maybe it works. But here just knight to e5 and knight to f6, and now just going for queen to c2, and Pragg's find the absolute best engine moves. And here just c6, queen captures on f5, but now just comes queen to e8, knight to f7, and bishop to c8. And here rook f to e1 was played by Pragg. And what do you do in this position? The thing is, there is a very nice line again for Gukesh. Gukesh, if he's able to spot this, his position would be really nice, because you can go for rook captures on f7, sacrificing the exchange for the second time in this game. And the thing is that after e captures you play this queen captures on f7, and after queen to f4 you play knight to b3. And yes, that knight looks weird there, but I mean, pawns are so amazing here. And the thing is that once that bishop is developed, once the rook gets into the game, it's not even going to feel like, I mean, you're in exchange now. Let's say you play knight to e2, and your position is going to be, I mean, with black your position is very nice. But here Gukesh goes for the calm move. He goes for knight to b7 here, because that knight, if he feels like that knight is not going to be enough here on b3, I mean, going at the edge of the board, not doing very much. So here he remaneuvers it, trying to get it to d6, but here just bishop to g5. We now have rook to a7, a very nice move, because you want the rook to be able to here control all of the entirety of the 7th rank. Bishop captures, and we have bishop captures on d5, a brilliant engine line found by Pragg, and right on time as well, because here the thing is that once you go for c captures, is knight captures on d5, and there is very difficult, very difficult because hey, this knight is jumping in, this knight is there stranded, and hey, you're just defending for the rest of the game. And bishop to e7 was played by Gukesh, which is the very nice move. And Pragg can go for this knight to h6 line, but the thing is that this is a very difficult move to spot because now after g caps on h6, queen to g4 check, bishop to g5, you play f4, and that's the idea. Once knight to c5 comes, you play f captures. First, a very nice move. I told you, the rook on the 7th rank is a very amazing place. You go for rook to g7, attack the queen. Now you cannot capture. So here, after queen to d4, you play knight caps on e6. And yes, it looks scary because now you have this, but there is a brilliant move, which is this king to h8. And yes, if you capture, then just I capture there, and my position is going to be absolutely fine. Even if you go for rook captures here, most likely this game is going to be ending still with a draw, but I mean, it's black who's the one pushing. But here after bishop to e7, we have queen to g4, and queen to g4 is not a good move. Engine does not like it because of knight to d8, and knight to d8 is a brilliant move in this position because the thing is that you removed the defense of actually that knight, and now here Gukesh with the knight on e8 is challenging a very active knight which is on f7, and this is why. And here just knight caps on d8 was played. Now you have to give that up, but after bishop captures, you can understand you have lost the advantage. Queen to d4, but just rook to b7, and now comes this rook to e4, bishop to f6, and queen to e3, bishop to e7, h4 now, and Gukesh is the one better here. But for you to realize this, the thing is that he's a complete piece up, and I mean, it's just going to be very difficult. Yes, Pragg is on the offensive, but if Gukesh doesn't blunder, this game is definitely his. Here queen to c6, but now just comes h5. Now instead of this h5, you could go for rook to e5, but the thing is that rook to e5, it doesn't do anything. Bishop to d6, rook to g5, queen to e8. Now you play knight to b6, trying to just get opening this very nice discovery here on the bishop. But once the bishop moves, you have nothing. You have to come back. Most likely here the bishop jumps, and yeah, your position is not that good. But after queen to c6, h5 was played, trying to just create imbalance in the position. But after bishop to c5, what can you even do? Queen needs to move, and if you don't want to move the queen in this position, you could go for a move like e7, which looks very fancy. But the thing is that after bishop caps on e3, e captures on f8 first with a check, just bringing another queen into the game. But just king captures, and after f captures, you're a complete queen up. And rook to f7, rook e to d4, queen to e6. You have to understand, for the queen I have two rooks, but for the rook, for the bishop I have a knight, but where is my extra rook? I need one more rook to be able to try and go around, or at least I need two pieces here, and that's the problem. You're just material down, and that just doesn't make sense to try and carry on with this position. But after bishop to c5, queen to g5 was played, but now just comes bishop caps on f6, bishop caps on e6, and after h6, now finally going for rook captures on f2. And yeah, it was on this move 33 that Pragg resigned the game because hey, you're just threatening a lot of discoveries. If you go there, you go under the shadow of the queen. There is no checkmate here because rook is guarding everything. Bishop is very nicely placed. Bishop pair are amazing in this position, targeting a lot of pieces. Your rooks are even not connected. Queen is not doing that very much. You're a piece down, and most likely what's going to happen is you're going to be losing this game, and that's why Pragg realized this, and he was able to resign the game, and Gukesh got this spectacular victory in just 33 moves. And he's playing the second Indian here in candidates. In round 1 he faced with it, that Indian draw. In round 2 he faced Pragg, and he was able to get this amazing victory against him. And let's see what happens in round 3. I mean, Gukesh played spectacular chess there, we know it, but it's gonna be still very difficult to play the candidates and play it very proficiently. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be coming back with such amazing games, so stay tuned to the channel, stay updated, and well, we're going to be going through entirety of the series, covering a lot of amazing games from the candidates. So stay tuned, stay updated, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you very much for watching.